To say the reception of Madam Web has been less than stellar would be a massive understatement. While the stars of the film were on their press tours, speculation sparked about whether they were misled regarding the film's connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Based on the lackluster performance at the box office and negative reviews, some interesting narratives have emerged surrounding the actor's perception of the project. Dakota Johnson's comments in an interview with L'Officiel USA suggested a sense of reassurance from Elizabeth Olsen, known for her role as Wanda Maximoff in the MCU, regarding the Madam Web role. This interaction led some to speculate that Johnson may have assumed Madam Web was part of the MCU, especially considering Olsen's involvement. However, it's important to note that Johnson's lack of familiarity with Marvel movies and inability to name the Tom Holland Spider-Man films cast doubt on this assumption. Furthermore, labeling Johnson's involvement as a case of being tricked into the film overlooks the complexities of Hollywood contracts and the fluid nature of film production. Similarly, Sydney Sweeney's remarks about joining the MCU sparked further speculation, with some interpreting her comments as confirmation of Madam Web's MCU affiliation. However, it's worth noting that the interviewer was the one who introduced the MCU reference, not Sweeney herself. While Sweeney didn't deny or say that she wasn't in the MCU, she also did not say that she was. Additionally, Sweeney's enthusiasm for her character and her desire to remain faithful to the source material, including fighting to have her character appear upside down in costume, indicates a genuine interest in the project rather than being misled. The intricate relationship between Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios adds another layer of complexity to the situation. While Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man and associated characters, including Madam Web, their collaboration with Marvel Studios on Spider-Man films has blurred the lines between the MCU and Sony Spider-Verse. This ambiguity may have contributed to misunderstandings among both actors and audiences regarding Madam Web's place within a larger Marvel universe. Sony has owned the film rights of Spider-Man since 2000 and released two incredibly well-received movies, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 starring Tobey Maguire. Seasoned MCU fans know that while Sony paid for and distributed the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, Marvel Studios produced and were allowed full creative control of them, as well as using Spider-Man in other MCU projects. However, to the average moviegoer who may not know the details behind Marvel and Sony, Madam Web simply looks like another terrible Marvel movie. Sony likely made the deal to allow Marvel Studios to use Spider-Man again, hoping the success of the MCU's brand would help build up their own Spider-Verse of movies. However, none of Sony's live-action characters have significantly contributed or crossed over with any MCU film. This is likely due to the fact that all of Sony's live-action films released in the past decade have essentially been critically panned, and only the Venom films have achieved moderate box office success. While some feel Marvel's brand has been deteriorating, it's still nowhere near as poor as the reception on Sony's films, and the MCU is likely unwilling to taint their brand by connecting directly to the Sony universe. Case in point, Madam Web was critically panned by audiences before it even hit theaters. Fans expected this film to be bad, and somehow it ended up being worse than what they thought. Ultimately, while some may perceive the star's involvement in Madam Web as a misstep or a result of misinformation, it's essential to consider the broader context of Hollywood dynamics and the complexities of movie production. Madam Web's reception highlights the challenges of navigating shared cinematic universes and the importance of clarity in communicating a film's creative vision to all involved parties.